Welcome back to Clue Me In, where we unravel the world's strangest mysteries, disappearances, unsolved crimes, and eerie cases that leave more questions than answers. I'm Liv.
I'm Kay.
And I'm Grace, here to react in real time because, as usual, I was intentionally kept in the dark and mildly bribed with coffee.
Every episode, Kay and I break down a mystery, and Grace reacts, theorizes, and ultimately delivers her definitive answer.
Today's episode is going to be a little different than our past ones. Usually we hit on crime mysteries, but we thought it would be fun to discuss one of the oldest and most hotly debated mysteries in human history, the lost city of Atlantis.
That's a real thing? I thought it was just Aquaman.
Oh, it's very real. Or, well, maybe. Let's get into it.
Okay, so let's rewind about 2,400 years ago.
Okay.
The first known mention of Atlantis comes from the Greek philosopher Plato. Recognize that name?
Yes.
Yeah, good. I'm glad. Good start. So in his dialogues, Timaeus and Critias, written around like 360 BCE, he describes a vast island nation that supposedly existed 9,000 years before his time. So that would be over like 11,000 years ago.
From now?
Yeah,
Yes.
from
That's a
now.
long time.
Yeah.
Yeah. And while Plato definitely gave us his full, cinematic version, some scholars think he was not actually the first person to bring it up.
Oh.
Which a lot of people, if you ask, he was. But there are a few people, there's this guy, I'm going to call him Hellenicius. I don't know if that's how you pronounce
Sounds
it.
good
but
to me.
Yeah, he was kind of a genealogist / historian type, and he supposedly wrote something called Atlantis before Plato, but most of it is just lost to history.
Oh. So these guys right now are talking about this island above ground. At this point is what we're talking about?
Correct.
Correct.
Okay.
Yes, and they're talking about this old nation
Land.
that used to exist.
Yeah,
Okay.
but we'll give
Yes.
the whole backstory.
Gotcha.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So alongside of that Hellenius guy, a few other poets made vague references to a sacred circular place out west, but nothing definitive, but enough that you're kind of okay, maybe Plato didn't pull this out of nowhere.
Right. So, yeah, he just kind of made it more, gave more depth and detail and stuff to some things that were already kind of mentioned.
Okay.
So, according to him, Atlantis was more advanced than any known civilization. It had massive harbors, and it had multi-ringed cities, in a circle.
Whoa.
Incredible architecture, and supposedly it even had hot and cold running water. And this is all stuff he wrote all those years ago.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So, way before its time.
Yes.
Oh, for sure.
Correct.
Yeah.
It also, he said it supposedly was located beyond the Pillars of Hercules, which is most historians' interpretation of the Strait of Gibraltar, which is the narrow passage between Spain and Morocco.
Oh, okay.
Yes. And then, as the story goes, Atlantis got a little too full of itself, and then the Atlanteans tried to conquer other lands, namely Athens. And then, according to Plato, the gods were not having it, so Atlantis was destroyed in a single day and night, and it sunk into the sea.
Interesting.
Does that sound familiar to you?
Yes.
Of the
Yes.
lost city
Yeah.
of Atlantis?
Yeah.
Okay, but the thing is that Plato truly believed and claimed that the story was true. So he passed it down through generations. And he even said that the story came from his ancestors, which were Egyptian priests.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so here's how he describes Atlantis' main city, and this is word for word. The main city of Atlantis consists of concentric circles of water and land, larger and smaller, encircling one another. There were 2 of land and 3 of water. And then he mentions that there was a water opening to the sea on the south side.
Yes. And that's a very specific layout, and try to keep a hold of that.
Okay.
Scientists later discover the Ricat structure, which is also known as the Eye of the Sahara. And I'm shocked by how many people don't actually know that this exists.
No.
Yeah, very odd. But it is in Mauritania, Africa. It's a giant circular formation in the desert, and it even has evidence of like a southern water channel, just like Plato mentioned.
Huh.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah. So then he also described it as being surrounded by like vast plains, which kind of form almost like rectangles. And guess what? The Eye of Sahara is on a huge flat plain extending both east and west.
Interesting.
Now, I feel like this is a good time to show her a picture so she can
do
like
it.
really get it. And we'll post pictures of this on our Instagram
Yes.
so you guys can see.
It's so much like geography and stuff.
Yeah.
But I feel like when you see the pictures, it's like, oh, wow.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Like
So I'm looking at a picture of
like
Atlantis
how Atlantis was
and
described,
the
and
Eye of
then
the Sahara side by side for the listeners.
Yes.
That is interesting. Even the rings
Mm-hmm.
and the water. That is kind of cool.
Yeah. Okay, so then there were impressive mountains to the north. Like, that's what Plato mentions.
Okay.
And this is, like, identical to the Atlas Mountains, which is just north of the Ricot structure. And here's another, like, fun fact, and maybe another clue, is the Atlas Mountains are actually named after the first known king of Mauritania.
Mm-hmm.
And Atlas is also the very name given to the first Atlantis king.
Oh,
Which,
okay.
like, if they're the same place, that would make sense.
Huh. Interesting.
Yeah. The earliest Roman geographer, Pomponius Mela, I think is his last name, drew up a world map back in AD 43. And he marked a place called Atlanta right in the northwest region of the Sahara.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So another thing that we now know about the Sahara is, because if you've heard a lot of things about Atlantis and stuff, you probably imagine like this lush green like place, and obviously that's not what like Africa seems to be right now. But very recently we have discovered that it was a tropical landscape, and it did have rivers and lakes that, you know, obviously fit the idea of a bustling civilization and, you know, exactly how Atlantis was described.
Yeah. That's interesting.
And do you remember how he said Atlantis, like, got destroyed?
Yes.
Do you remember? It was, he just said water, right? It got sunk in water.
Yeah, sunk.
So satellite images and geological studies show massive water erosion patterns from the Sahara, as well as evidence of a giant tsunami around the same time that Atlantis supposedly sank.
Ooh, that's kind of coincidental.
Or is it?
Interesting.
Coincidence? I think not.
I think not. So let's get into the clues.
Okay.
So we'll go through some of these things, or things we haven't talked about yet. So clue 1 is Plato's detail that described Atlantis' political system and architecture. Even like this special metal that they had that apparently glowed red. And in 2015, parts of that exact type of metal were found in a Sicilian shipwreck.
Oh.
So, you know, that's kind of
kinda
interesting. And then another clue is the Minoans. Just that the Minoans had plumbing, roads, multi-story buildings, but they disappeared around 1450 BC, which is far later than Plato's 11,000 BC time frame. So.
Okay.
So then clue number 3 is the submerged cities. So ruins have been found off of Spain and India and Cuba dating back to Plato's era. So, like, other cities that were submerged underwater. So, like, it's not so far off that, like, Atlantis could be another one.
Yeah.
Interesting. I never knew this much about Atlantis, I must say.
I know, most people don't. And then there's ancient maps. So, the 1513 Piri-Reis map has bits of Antarctica pre-ice. And there may be older chart sources. So, maybe it pulled from prehistoric knowledge of lost lands.
Oh. That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
So those were all like clues that we didn't mention earlier,
Yeah.
obviously. But now let's get into the theories based off of those clues.
Okay.
So theory 1 is that the Minoans are actually Atlantis and that they were the Atlanteans. Because, like, culturally, they had advanced society, seafaring, and then they were suddenly wiped out.
Yeah.
But, like, the timeline, again, like Liv said earlier, was that it doesn't really match Plato's.
Yeah,
timeline.
and the Minoans were in the Mediterranean, not the Atlantic. But still, I get why people link them.
But even it just showed that it was plausible.
For sure.
That there was advanced technology at that time.
Yeah, that's so true.
That's true.
Yeah.
So then theory 2 is that Atlantis is in the Atlantic. Some people point to the Bimini Road near the Bahamas, which is like underwater stone structures, which make it kind of mysterious.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I feel like that's too simple.
I
Atlantis
agree.
is in the Atlantic.
Yeah, like people just want it to be there because of the name Atlantic. But, like,
Yeah.
I don't know. That's not enough for me.
Yeah. All right, so theory 3 is the Antarctica pole ship theory. So this was entertained by Einstein, actually. Charles Hopgood proposed that a sudden crustal displacement could have buried Atlantis under the ice. So
Which
basically,
is
there's
so wild.
yeah. So
Yeah.
basically, they're saying that like it's in buried ice in the Antarctica.
Yeah,
like,
yeah, it's fun. Yeah.
yeah.
Interesting.
All right, so then theory 4, it was all just like an allegory. So Plato was warning about pride and corruption and made it all up basically to like make a point.
Right.
I
But,
guess.
I mean, if that's true, why all the accurate geological references, tech, timelines, I don't know.
Unless that was the point.
True.
Make it believable.
True. All right, so theory 5, Atlantis sank to the bottom of the ocean, straight up, like a massive geological drop. There's a trench near Azores that some people think fits Plato's description. So, just a classic little
I feel like
there.
that's what people think of when they
Right.
think of Atlantis.
Yeah.
Yeah, like an underwater city.
For
Yeah.
sure.
Yep. And then finally, we have theory 6, which honestly is my favorite theory. And I have watched very long videos on it, and I truly believe this is it, which is the Eye of the Sahara. So also called the Rickott structure, the one that's getting like all the traction.
That's the one you
for
showed me the
now.
picture of, right?
Yes, that is the one with
Oh, yeah.
all of the description matching
Yep.
up.
Yep, Plato describes all of the things that match it exactly. Plus, there's evidence of things like ancient saltwater flow and southern opening and all that stuff.
So if we go with that theory, then that's where the tsunami came and wiped out the land, but the structures were still there, right?
Yes, or maybe they were underwater for a little bit, and as it dried up and time went by,
They, like,
it started
corroded.
to emerge.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we didn't mention this earlier, I don't think. But another one of the like evidence for it being the Sahara, the Eye of the Sahara, is that in Plato's description, he like talks about that the city of Atlantis had like very like reddish stones and like minerals and stuff like that, and there's actually those type of things being found around the
Oh, in
Sahara
the
Eye.
land.
Yeah.
That is kind of cool.
Yeah.
I don't
So-
know. I just like totally. I'm not influencing your final decision about whether or not Atlantis is real, but
You're not.
like literally, I know we just explained it all to you,
Yeah.
but you gotta watch this video,
I
Grace.
know.
Like it
Yeah.
is
He does
so
so much
compelling
And
that
he's got the
Sahara.
pictures and all that stuff.
Yes.
But I will say, like, listening to this all, and obviously, like, I haven't done, like, this is the first time I'm hearing of it,
Right.
but that is the one that sounds the most plausible to me, and seeing the pictures, like, it definitely does look very similar.
Yeah.
And with the fact of, like, knowing there was a tsunami at one point in that land,
Right.
and that it used to be tropical, like, I feel like all of that does make it very, very
yes.
plausible.
Yes.
Yeah, and I think I could believe that, it's a myth if it was just the fact that, like, the structure of the eye matched, like, the description of Atlantis, but, like,
There's so much
the
more.
fact that there's scientific stuff going on, like, the
They're finding
tsunami, the,
things.
like, and then also the, like, water route that goes out in the exact
Yeah.
direction it says Atlantis
And the
does.
rings being the exact same, too.
Yes, and then, like, the stone being found that is the same color minerals that Atlantis was going to have, and, you know, all of it. Like, I don't know. I think it definitely is a very good theory.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Is that your
say-
final theory, Caitlin?
That's my definitive answer.
Well, I will say
Switch
that's
it
also
up.
mine. I'm going to say yes to Atlantis being real. I don't think it's still a society underwater like the movies, but I do think at one point it could have existed, especially with the Minoans having similar technology, it's not that far-fetched that there could have been some place that had more advanced technology. So I'm going to say the Eye of the Sahara, because it's just kind of cool. And it makes a lot of sense to my brain. The other ones don't.
Right.
So that's my definitive theory as well.
Yeah. Yeah, I like it.
Sorry, I was just trying to come for your job a few minutes ago.
No, I love it. I absolutely love it.
It'll just be the Kay and Liv show next time.
Yeah. Just wanted to switch things up.
No, I love it. And yes, for our listeners, if you literally just look up like the Eye of the Sahara versus Atlantis or something, it'll just come up with the two pictures. And it is just really cool to see.
Yeah. I don't know. It's a very cool unsolved mystery. Like,
yeah.
I don't know. Just a very cool
it
mystery. Yeah. Especially because there's so many movies, like the Disney movie. Is it Disney?
Yeah.
Atlantis. Yeah. Love that movie. So.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Very fun.
And Aquaman.
And Aquaman. Love me some
Jason
Jason
Momoa.
Momoa.
Yeah.
All the movies about Atlantis.
Thanks for listening to another episode of Clue Me In. If you want to dive deeper, no pun intended, into the mystery of Atlantis, don't forget to subscribe and leave us a review.
Do you think Atlantis was a real place, a myth, or something between? Let us know. And also let us know if you like this type of episode. You can follow us on Instagram at cluemein_podcast.
If you go swimming and see mermaids, let us know.
See you next time on
Clue Me In.